Askreddit, how would you respond if a couple approached you for a threesome? Assume I'm being set up for organ harvesting or robbery. Tip from the pros. Be a fat, unhealthy bastard and you'll never have to worry about organ harvesting. You'll also never have to worry about being invited to a threesome, but there are pros and cons with everything. A random couple? Or someone I knew? In the end, it depends on how well I know them. Just somebody that you used to know. I'd probably wake up before the action even started. If I wanted to disappoint two people at the same time, I'd go see my parents. Why did you pull me over? I am not discussing my day. Am I being detained? I invoke the fifth. This has happened to me twice before. One was a FF couple who were both bi and wanted to have a kid and decided I would be good dad material, wanted me to be involved with the kid and everything because they thought it was important to have a male figure in the kid's life. So Fing noped out of that. The other was a friend of mine and a girl he was seeing whom propositioned me at a bar, and I said I'm flattered but no, sort of forgot about it as the drinks kept flowing, went back to their place to have a glass of wine and she just started undoing my pants and he started fing her. I rolled with it for a bit, clutching my wine glass the entire time. I left when I was fing her and the guy was just looking at us while having a wank. An unforgettable eye contact was made. Was too fing weird having a friend of yours having a wank to you fing his girlfriend. I just put my poop back on and left wine glass in hand, lol. I have a belly and am not 6 feet, so I would assume it's a scam. I've been approached twice in my life, both were friends of mine that were a couple. I turned both down. That shit gets messy fast, and not in the sexual way, lol, and I didn't want to risk it. One of the couples was my ex's sister and her husband, and I'd babysat their kids for them. They sat me down after my babysitting day was over, and I thought they were going to say we found an alternative option, but instead presented me with this proposition so they could fulfill some fantasy of theirs. It made it so awkward even just after the convo, so imagine after the deed. The other was my best friend and her husband, and she knocked on my door in the middle of the night. They would sleep over all the time, and just asked if I wanted to, but I couldn't risk losing my best friend even for a second if shit got weird, and her husband wasn't the most hygiene-friendly person, and that's a no-no. I just said no thanks and went back to bed, lol. I'd say thank you very much, I'm flattered, but I'm head over heels in love with my wife and I wouldn't cheat on her, but thanks again for asking. You've made my day. How far do I have to travel? I'm in, wife, and I have been into swinging for years. Well, I live with my parents and don't leave the house, so I'd probably decline. Dinners would get weird pretty quick. Hey, so I heard you and your Bible study wrestling around after praying. Could you try to keep it down next time? No thanks, happily married. Hard nope. I don't think the reality will match up to the fantasy, and there are likely to be problems with the relationship dynamics. The only threesomes I've ever been asked to be a part of were with single moms and their super crusty boyfriends. Hard pass every time. I would give it a go. Check off the bucket list. Depends if I'm horny at that given moment or not. Huge compliment, but hard pass. This happened to me a few times. The amount of couples on Tinder disguised as single lesbians is scary. It's hard no. Not quite the same. But I was asked to be with a friend's wife while he watched. I turned it down because I didn't want the friendship to get weird. It was too weird anyway after that, and we're no longer friends. So if you're close to the couple, chances are that either way the dynamic of the friendship will change. Just be aware of that. I wouldn't be interested. I've heard too many stories of people who have had threesomes before, and it never ends well for the couples. First, the GF/wife is fine with it, then she has regrets it and can no longer be intimate or like her BF/husband. Reverse the roles and it's the same. Two friend groups who are close agree to the orgy, gets uncomfortable, and now they are no longer friends. It isn't worth the risk for the reward. Plus, the idea of partaking in a threesome never really appealed to me at all. Seemed more like it was something to brag about or just say you did, rather than something you actually enjoyed for yourself. Maybe it's different for women than men, but it's not for me. Thank you for watching. See you soon. Remember to stay hydrated.